Wednesday Adams, a high school student, finds her brother Pugsley tied up in a locker. She sees a psychic vision of his bullies, whom she attempts to kill, resulting in her expulsion. Her parents, Morticia and Gomez, decide to enroll her in Nevermore Academy, a school for outcasts in Jericho, Vermont. Meanwhile, a hiker is killed by an unknown creature near Nevermore. Wednesday's parents release Thing, a sentient disembodied hand, to watch over her. She meets her roommate Enid, her complete opposite, and duels with Bianca, the popular girl, after Bianca bullies a boy named Rowan. Later, Wednesday is nearly killed by a falling gargoyle, but is saved by Bianca's ex-boyfriend Xavier. After escaping her court-order therapy session, Wednesday meets Tyler, a coffee barista who agrees to help her escape from Nevermore. However, she is apprehended by Principal Larissa Weems and taken back to the school. Later, Tyler and Wednesday meet at the local carnival, and Wednesday has a vision of Rowan's death. Rowan attempts to kill her, but is murdered by the monster. Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. I'm Surge T, and that is the synopsis of episode 1 of season 1 of Wednesday, and it's entitled Wednesday's Child is Full of Woe. That is actually a line from Morticia Adams' favorite bedtime story, according to her. The teacher, well, not the teacher, but the principal, Larissa Weems, who is played by Gwendolyn Christie, Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones. She was also in Star Wars. What's that? Captain Phasma, if I remember correctly. But she really did a good job in this episode. You forget how tall she is. She's really, really tall, and she seems to tower over everybody in this thing. Very intimidating. But this episode was really. I mean, this show really does set the precedent for what's to expect. I enjoyed it. I totally enjoyed it. You seeing Jenny Ortega, as Wednesday, she really is something else. She's like, I kind of liken her to, Jenna Ortega, not Jenny Ortega, and I liken her to Bella Ramsey in Last of Us, where she, every time you see these two actresses on screen, you can't take your eyes off of them. They just have a charisma, a presence, a way of just presenting themselves when they, they're performing as their characters. I mean, she has it down so pat, the emotionless, the morbid, just the way that she just doesn't feel any emotion. She's so withdrawn. She's so doesn't let anything bother her. She just takes care of business when she needs to. Namely, what she did to those jocks, that swim team that bullied her brother, releasing those piranha in the pool, and apparently they didn't die, but the one guy lost his testicle, according to what she said. Almost like saying, "Ain't no big deal, lost his testicle. He should have lost more." There's a bunch of punks, But then again, what else are bullies are, right? That's all they are, really. But in this thing, you see a lot of callbacks. You see Christina Ricci, who plays Marilyn Thornhill. She is like the dorm mother of Wednesday and Enid. You could tell that they tried to keep it kind of keep her not looking like how we usually see how Christina Ricci looks. She looks different. But she's the OG Wednesday Addams from the movies. Of course, recently, those fans of the original series, the TV series, Lisa Loring, who played the original, the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first, because I don't know if anything happened before the TV show, but from what we can remember, she was Wednesday Addams, and she recently passed away. She played her. And, this movie really. I mean, even the TV series. There's even the name. What's the name of her therapist? Right. I looked at her and I go, she looks like the nemesis of Christina Ricci's Wednesday Addams in the movies. Remember that girl? She looks just like her, and I looked up her name, and it didn't connect her to the Addams Family movies. So maybe that's not her. Looks a lot like her. Maybe I just misread. But let's get into the recap of this and my thoughts. I enjoyed it. You know, I was really just tripping out because it's just so well done. You know, it's directed by Tim Burton. I read that he directed 4 episodes of this show. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, I'm looking forward to what he brings to this. I mean, he's directed like Night Before, the what do you call it, the Night Before Christmas. Is that the one, the animated one with? But he's directed so many other things that, it's like this, Sleepy Hollow, and Batman, of course, and there's all kinds of movies that kind of lend to his ability to do kind of a series like this, to direct it. And he really did a good job, and that's not saying much because, of course, it's Tim Burton. Why else wouldn't he do a good job? He's working with someone who he's familiar with, Christina Ricci, and I was thinking to myself, is what do you call it, Johnny Depp going to appear in this somehow? Maybe just a character that no one will recognize, but he's in makeup or something. I don't know. But the fact that how protective she is of her brother, that first real scene that we kind of know what she's about, her pretty much releasing. I mean, she raised her hands. I'm like, what is in those things? And I right away I'm going piranhas, and she just when she drops the bag and then they come out of the bag, going up after these guys. And what I realized about that one guy, the one main dude that was targeted by her. I mean, she pretty much didn't care if anybody else did. He was at the end. Everybody's jumping out of the pool, and he's at the end, and he looks like this. Like, he's looking like, get the hell out. You already knew what it was. In their eyes, I don't know how they could see, how they can tell that it was something dangerous, like piranhas. She drops them in. They right away, their eyes are like this, and then when she drops it, they scatter. Why would you take the time to go, oh, I wonder where they are? Oh, maybe you would have jumped out of the pool. You would have saved one of your nutsacks. You know what I mean? It's like, there's that. And then, her kind of rocky, rough start with Enid. She's all colors and sunshines and rainbows. And then Wednesday, of course, is dark. She's different. She even did a thing where she took that, I guess there's that stained glass, and she peeled it off, and on her side it's all dark, black and white. I'm separating our room evenly. That's your side is my side. We find out that Enid is a wolf, but she can't turn. She doesn't howl at midnight. She doesn't do all that stuff. She might be a special kind of a wolf. Who knows, right? Who knows? I mean, even her mother's saying, yeah, you might grow out of it. But you can still see that she's very, very disturbed by it. And then Wednesday, because she's accused of being not emotionless, not even caring about Enid's story. And then Wednesday still talks about having a pet scorpion. And then her pet scorpion gets, when she was 6 years old, and her pet scorpion gets run over by a bunch of bullies. Maybe that's where it comes from. She doesn't like people doing things like that, and especially when it does to her brother, she's gonna take care of him. And then her mom and dad, played by Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Gomez. Oh, Luis Guzman. Luis Gomez is that shit comic that I can't stand. But Luis Guzman, who we've seen in Carlito's Way and so many other things, But in this, he plays Gomez Adams. Now, Catherine Zeta-Jones has the what do you call it? She really does do it well. She reminds me of Angelica Houston and from the movies, and what's her name? Catherine Jones or something like that. I might be missing it because it's been a long time, But Carolyn Jones, there you go, who played in the TV series. And she has the thing down. She has it down. The way she talks, very calming, but very eerie. And she has the look, the makeup, her face. It's all like a Luis Guzman. He's trying, man, but he sounds like just him. Like he's just talking. He's just talking as himself, and he's not putting on the way that John Ashton from the Seavers did it, or Raul Julia did it from the movies. He's trying to be all romantic with her in the car when they're dropping off. What do you call it? Wednesday at the Nevermore School Academy, because she got expelled from middle school for that piranha incident. And then, but then when they're getting romantic, and like how, Gomez and Morticia are, but it looks creepy to me. It doesn't even look like you know what I mean? Like this Catherine James Jones, does she enjoy doing that scene with Luis Guzman? He looks kind of creepy. Like he doesn't, and it's just like he needs to. I don't know what it is. His approach really doesn't gel with me. I'm not saying that he's not trying. He is, but it's like it just seems like he's just talking as himself. Like he's not trying to be like Gomez. He's just there. He has the hair, the suit on, and he's playing the role, but he's not really putting any kind of effort from what I see. Hopefully we don't see as much as him as maybe we see Catherine Zeta-Jones, because I love her as an actress. I think she's great. She's done so many good things. The Zorro films, and she was in Entrapment and all these other films. Married to Michael Douglas, and like that. And that's where Michael Douglas noticed her in the Zorro film, and that's why, hey, I don't blame him, because we all noticed her in that movie, that sword fight she had with Antonio Banderas. When he was like cutting her dress and stuff, and in the end he cuts the dress off, and she's like this, oh, like that. We all remembered her from that. And that movie Entrapment, if I'm not mistaken, with Sean Connery, and when she did that thing where she's like bending down, avoiding the laser beams, but then I heard it's not her. And if it's and someone told me that, and I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. But that's what we recognize, because we thought it was her. So that's another thing of and here she looks great. She's beautiful. She still is as beautiful as she ever was. And this right here, this thing right here, it really is the setup to what's going to happen next. She has a run-in with Bianca, sword fight, that little fencing thing. And I think that she thought that she had the upper hand on her, on Bianca, did Wednesday. This is no helmet, no and no tip, and she ends up getting cut. She said, "Let's do this until the winner draws first blood." And first blood was drawn by Bianca. I thought it was gonna be Wednesday. Wednesday looked good. She was getting in there. She was getting her licks in. She was getting her moves in, and it wasn't enough. There's Rowan. She ends up going to his aid, and after the first time that he ever came to his aid was at the thing, that sword fight, that fencing thing that they were doing, the trial or whatever they're doing. I think they're just practicing. Find out that he's a guy who wanted to kill her. He's the one that was behind the gargoyle almost falling on her before Xavier pushed her out of the way, pushed Wednesday out of the way. I don't know if it has anything to do with her father Gomez, because it was revealed after Tyler Galpin, who was the barista, his father was the sheriff, and he's been investigating all these murders. Well, not a lot of murders, but I think two, especially the one the hiker guy. But he was even warned by the lady who dropped him off, and that's okay. He'll say, and up his body parts are all over the place. Some parts are missing. And so she had this file that Tyler was able to get for her, because he's the son of the sheriff, and he even says, "You're Gomez Adams' daughter," and she's like this, and he goes, "I'm gonna keep my eye on you," So there's that. I don't know if he went to school with Gomez, or he just remembers back in the day when he was young, and did he have something to do with his mother's? I think he insinuated that his mother is dead, and maybe Gomez had something inadvertently to do with it, or something happened, because he's like somebody who the sheriff goes, he should be behind jail, he should be behind bars, he should be in prison, whatever. However he said it, jail, prison, bars, but he says pretty much he should have been arrested. You have that. And she's thinking, what's going on, even though when they asked her toward the end, they go, how's everything going? How's your first week? In her mind, she's going, oh, well, she's running down everything that bad that's happened to her, right? And then she just says to her mom and dad, I'm paraphrasing, but she goes, oh, I'm just having a great time. And that's it. She looks at the camera, boom, that's it. Along the way, yeah, she meets the Tyler guy. He seems like a nice dude. He's willing to help her escape from Nevermore Academy, but the principal is not having it. They're able to track her down at that barista at that coffee place and takes her back to the school. You know, I mean that opening scene when she gets there and everybody's looking at her, laughing at her at that previous school of hers, and they're just lucky that she didn't go all carry on them and start, going off. Not that she has that telekinesis stuff that Carrie had. She has visions. She bumps into somebody. She bumped into this one guy who had all these, I think, apples or something, and then she totally flashes forward and sees him getting a head-on collision. Then later on, she's being led back to the school. I believe that was the scene. And then she saw him, and then she goes, "Oh, he's dead, broken neck or something like that." And then she goes, "How do you know? How do you see that just by looking?" And then you show the guy, and his head is bent way back, and his neck is snapped. You can see. And then Rowan, she bumped into Rowan when her and Tyler were at the carnival. And then she gets a vision of him getting torn apart by this beast. And later on, when he has her up, because he has some powers, he's able to just go like this and have her. It's almost like Darth Vader and the Force and everything. He's able to, like that. I don't know what you call that type of power he has. And she's up against a tree, and then she notices this creature, and pretty much what she saw in the vision happened to Rowan. And then the creature just looks at her and runs off. And I was thinking in my mind, I go, is that like one of her relatives? Maybe. I'm thinking, oh, maybe Morticia asked one of her relatives to go there and look out for her, but I don't think it is. But that thing didn't look at her and didn't do nothing. He just looked at her and that was it. He was gone. He was gone. So, what's up with that? That thing looked pretty. It looked like Gollum on steroids. He looked like that. He looked like Gollum in the face, and he was really just big, huge. Like, I couldn't say he wasn't a lichen. He wasn't a wolf. He wasn't, whatever those words. I think the fangs, the furs, and then the scales. I forgot the other one. I think stoners. Well, I think I heard stoners, but I think there's something else. But it's almost like in school we have those groups, right? The jocks, the stoners, the nerds, the outcasts, all that stuff. We have that too in school, right? It's always been like that. Since dawn of times, we've always had those cliques, if you will. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much everything I wanna say about this about the first episode of Wednesday, which I will be uploading every Wednesday. And yeah, I mean, this like my hats off to Jenna Ortega. She is such a good actress and so good. I love watching her on screen. She just really just, you know, everything about her is Wednesday Addams. She knows how to. She got it down pat. Reminds me of Christina Ricci when she did it, and even Lisa Loring who did that back in the TV series. Rest in peace to her. Godspeed and everything. And it's amazing. It's just an amazing show, amazing appearance, amazing performance, I should say, by Jenna Ortega. And everybody else is chewing up the scenery, and everybody else is pretty good too. I like it, I mean, I know I'm pretty harsh on Luis Guzman. He's trying, but hopefully, if they show some more, he gets more into his role, and he has fun with it. And don't just talk. Don't just talk like yourself, and not even try to be like, I'm not saying to imitate what those guys did before him, but it's like it just seems like he's just performing as himself, and he's not really hamming it up, and I like to see that. But also one more thing is like that the kid that plays Pugsley Adams, he looks like Raul Julia, who played Gomez in the films. So uncanny. He looks just like him. I'm thinking, is that his grandson or great grandson or something? Because it looked like him, but I look up his name. His name is Isaac Ordonez, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, he could easily be the son of Raul Julia's daughter, right? And of course, she's gonna have a different last name. But I did read that he's related to the kid from Modern Family. So yeah, I guess a brother, team of actors there. Yeah. But that's pretty much all I can remember. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say about this. I'm not gonna go on and on because I could easily go an hour because I could talk and talk, you know. But anyway, that's my recap and thoughts on Wednesday, the episode entitled "Wednesday's Child is Full of Woe." So, well, that's well, like I said, that's my my video. So for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.